I had the crushes, other relationships, but like those relationships, I didn't love that person. I was kind of like, even though my first relationship ended because she cheated on me, it was kind of at a point where like I was in the relationship because I'd rather be unhappy and in this toxic ass fucking relationship than to be alone and sad. It was just this thing of like I needed someone, even if it was a terrible, even if I didn't love them, even if they were a piece of shit to me, I just needed someone. Whereas this relationship, it was the opposite, and maybe it was the opposite because going from this relationship where it was extremely toxic to this relationship where it's not toxic, where I actually connect with this person, where I feel, where I start to feel like, oh, I think I am in love with them. It might have just been that too, where I felt more, where I felt more for her because of the shit I had been through. And maybe that's why it hurt so much more for me. Maybe that's why she felt she couldn't feel as deeply for me. And again, it's good to talk about this stuff and think about like, okay, where did I go wrong? Because it is a learning experience. You learn from these relationships. You learn what you did, what you were doing that was right. What you doing that was wrong. You learn these aspects, but it's not good to focus on it and think like, well, maybe if I did this and this, it would have changed. You can't think like that. You can't think in the aspect of like what I could have done differently for us to still be together, because that's not healthy. And even though you're gonna think about it, you're gonna want to know like what can I want her back. I want to fix things. I want to change again. Unfortunately, you can't think like that, and unfortunately, that's not your decision to make. You are the one that was dumped. You don't get a say in whether the relationship starts again, whether her feelings for you change, whether in 6 months' time you get a do-over. You don't get to decide that. It's the same thing as they are the one that dumped you. They don't get to decide how you feel about them, whether you still love them, whether you hate them, whether you want to be friends, whether you don't. They don't get a say in that as the one who ended things with you. It's a give and take with a breakup. And unfortunately, when you're the one that's dumped, it's harder on you at first because when they break up with you, it's because they've been thinking about it for longer. They've been processing. They've been going back and forth of like, okay, should I end things? Should I keep going? And yeah, like it's shit. Whereas you get dumped and you're processing as you go. You have to go. You have to go to work. If you're young, you have to go to school. You have to go back to your day to day shit without this person who you constantly saw, constantly talked to, was a constant part of your life for however long the relationship went for. Changing that and having to deal with that is hard because they're processing it while they still have you in their life. They still see you. They still, you know, hang out with you, talk to you, get the affection from you, whereas you don't. You're dealing with this without that affection, without all these things. And, it takes longer for you to get over it. Like, it might take you 4 months, 6 months, a year. It could take you God knows when to fully be, like, at a point where you're like, okay, I am done with you. I am over you. I don't have these feelings. And sometimes it does change. Sometimes they break up with you and then 6 months down the road they're like, "Oh shit. Like I did feel this way for them. I did have feelings. I want to try again." But that's the thing. Like no matter how much you want them back, you should never take them back. At least not until you're past them, till you're over them. Because it could be 2 months. You could still be dealing, and they could be like, "Hey, I want to try it again." You should say no because you're at a low point where you feel like you depend on them, where your life can't function without them. And when it comes to that, you taking them back is only going to be make the relationship worse. It's only going to make everything worse because you're going to be there. You're going to be trying to be completely different to how you were. You might be start being overly affectionate. Might be doing what they want rather than what you feel like you need in a relationship. You need to learn to be yourself. Learn to be who you are, figure out who you are, be happy outside of being with someone before you be in another relationship or even go back to this previous person. Because if you feel like your happiness is dependent on that person, then you should not be with that person. Because you should be able to be happy without them. You should be able to love yourself without them. And this urge, this neediness to be with them is not healthy. You know, like, yeah, when you are in love, you want to be with them all the time. But when it's a breakup, you can't be. And you need to learn to be yourself without them. Because you could get to, I'm rambling a lot with this, but you could get to, like, let's say it takes you 8 months and you're over them. You're done. You feel happy. You feel good. You're out with your friends. You're doing all this stuff. And then they come back into your life. They message you being like, hey, like, can we talk? Like, I've been thinking, like, I made a mistake. I want to try this again. You could take them back. And you could start all over again. Like, not pick up from where you left off, but start brand new. A new relationship with this person. But it's not going to be a good relationship. Because you are going to be just so fearful of falling in love with this person again. Because it fucked you up last time when the relationship only went for 6 months. So what happens if you take them back and the relationship goes for longer? Are you constantly going to be you're constantly going to be in this situation where it's like, okay, I don't want to be hurt by this person again. So do I show less affection? Do I not say I love you? Do I wait for them to say it? Do I even take them back in the first place? Because I don't know. Because I hurt so much from being with this person for 6 months. Like, I don't want to feel that pain again. I don't want to be heartbroken and fall in love with this person again and break. And, you know, sometimes it's good. Like, you know, maybe you do take them back. Maybe the relationship's better than ever. Maybe it lasts so much longer. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe you get married. Like, you know, it could happen. But you need to think about yourself first. You need to put your mindset first. You need to be at this point where it's like, I'm happy with who I am. Maybe I am willing to try this again, but it needs to be different than what it was. Like, I need to know it's not going to, you're not going to just end things with me 2 months later. You know, you need to live and be yourself before you even think about giving them another chance. You know, especially if you've only been in like 1 or 2 relationships. You need to figure it out, what it is you want from life, what it is you want from love. And like, yeah, in this day and age, dating's fucking hard. It's so hard. There are, like, women, men, everyone is so picky when it comes to relationships and love. You know, it's rough. It's shit. You know, most people now just want to sleep around. And there are a lot of guys, especially out there, who are looking for something long term, who want to have something more meaningful. And unfortunately, this day and age isn't built around that. So you just kind of need to change who you are, unfortunately. Don't change your personality, don't change your interests, just change how you currently view what you want in life. You know, if you're young, try dating around, try sleeping around. I'm not saying be a whore, be a slut. Like, I'm not saying that. If you want to, great. There's no judgment in that. Like, people are different. People deal with shit breakups differently, and there is no judgment with that. Like, 100% there are people who are going to judge you with that, but you shouldn't let that affect you, because you just need to figure out what it is you need, what it is you truly want. And if by dating a bunch of different people, sleeping around helps you figure out, like, okay, I've slept with, like, this last year, I've slept with 10 different people, and I've realized, like, that's not what I want. I want to meet someone, I want to fall in love, I want to have a family. Then that's great. That's amazing. That's such a profound thing to realize, and such a meaningful thing to realize. Like, yeah, you had to do all this stuff, you probably hurt people doing it, but you needed to do that to realize where you are, to realize what you want. And you just need to honestly realize and understand that you are someone who is worth love. That you are someone that you are a person that someone will love one day. Like, it could be tomorrow, it could be years down the road, but no one in this world is born to be alone. And it's scary because you could be in your 30s and feel like you're not going to find the one. Who have been on countless dates feel like you're not going to find this one. But you just have to realize that there is someone out there who will love you for you. And it may take time, it may be hard. Love is never easy. The road will be fucking shit, full of heartbreaks. But you will find someone who cares about you. And when you find, because like think about it like this. Like I'm talking to myself right now, at the same time I'm talking to whoever's watching this. Like you feel this broken up and this shit about losing someone who did not love you. Imagine how fucking good it will feel to be with someone who loves you. To meet that person who feels as deeply for you as you do them. Like that will be such a beautiful thing. And you just need to realize it's going to be okay and you will find that person. Because yeah, it is amazing. Like I'm sure it is. Like I've seen it for so many people. You know, like, and it's such a beautiful thing. But you need to understand that it will be hard. Some people find their love early. Some people find it late in life. Some people end up with the wrong person for years and then split up and then find the right one. And it's amazing. And you will find that and you will be okay. You just need to remember that. But you need to learn to love yourself first. To appreciate yourself before you can find that person who will love you and appreciate you. And that is the hardest thing. Because right now, you probably hate yourself more than anything. Because all you're thinking about is, how did I fuck up this thing that I loved? And you didn't. That's the thing, you didn't. They just had this realization that they didn't feel for you the way you felt for them. And that's okay. Because if you love them, you want them to be happy. You want them to find the person that they can love. It's just hard for you because you don't understand why it wasn't you that they could love. And there is no reason to that. And that's the hard truth about it. There is no reason why they didn't love you. Like, yeah, you could have maybe come on too strong. You could have been a bit distant. You could have been your first relationship and not know what the fuck you were doing. But that does not mean it was your fault. It just means that at this point in time, you were not right for one another. Because maybe they were figuring stuff out with themselves. And maybe you were too. And again, it's okay to feel like this. Feel like this all you want, but you gotta keep going forward and remember that you will be okay. Oh, fuck. That was a very therapeutic rant, I must say. I was recording all this, so I am gonna upload it, but if anyone who's watching this ever just wants to talk or just have a conversation, I will leave a link to my Twitch in the description. I don't know how often I'll be streaming, but feel free to come in and talk, and I will do my best to talk to you back. Because I know how lonely it could feel just being by yourself. And even if it's just one or two people, just listening and hearing you out, that's more than enough.